I'm Chanelle Ellaya from Screen Africa, and we're here at the pool deck on the top of the Ilangeni Hotel, where the Durban International Film Festival is currently running. It started on the 16th and it goes on until the 26th. I'm here with Sibs Shongwe-La Mer. Did I say that right?
You did say it right. Good job. Good job.
Sibs is the director of Necktie Youth, which is one of the films in the festival. He's also the writer of the film. We just want to have a chat with him, find out a little bit about him. Sibs, firstly, La Mer. Tell me a little bit about that. Where did that come from?
Well, when I started my career, especially Necktie Youth deals with like the subject of affluence in Johannesburg. And I kind of came from an affluent family. So when I started my film career, I started really, I suppose, might have been my own projections, but because of my family name, I thought like, am I getting anywhere in film because of my surname and my parents, or is it because of my talent? So then I just changed my name for a while to La Mer because I was dating a French girl at the time, and she said my problems in French, my problems were as infinite as the sea. So I called myself Sibs La Mer for a while when I started my career, and then things started picking up. I called myself, I took back my family name, and Sibs Shongwe-La Mer, which just made sense.
Stuck. Yeah. Cool. Is this your first festival? If it is, and if it isn't, how are you finding the festival? What's your vibe, and how do you think it fares in comparison to international festivals?
We've been fortunate enough to have done like a variety of international festivals for the past 2 years, and being supported from the Venice Film Festival, Locarno Film Festival, and this year, since we're doing different kind of premieres, we opened the film at Berlinale. We've done Tribeca, we've done Sydney, and a multitude of other festivals. How I find it, it's a very different festival.
Different how?
Different in the sense that, it's more, especially the South African film industry, it's very, very critical without actually, I think a lot of the people and stuff like that, without substance. So, and it's also a very weird festival in the sense that even in our premiere, our screen went off like 3 times. They try to drown me out in my Q&A. But I love those kind of things, because I'm like, I love the weird things that happen. And I always, as someone who's like kind of like an anarchist of cinema, and maybe in South Africa's or the international voice now, like the more rock and roll filmmaker, I kind of like it where everything just like goes totally wrong. So that's why I say it's interesting and cool for that.
Calm in the storm.
Yeah. Or the storm in the storm.
What's the response been like to Necktie Youth from the public and here at the festival?
What, the international public?
Yeah.
Well, we've been blessed with really amazing reviews, and I'm really happy with, how people have been receiving this film. There was this like one News 24 piece that called my film, well, my mother said, I haven't read the article, so my mom's my biggest fan. My mom said that, she's just like, oh, this guy called it a highly accomplished wank, which I think is amazing. That's pretty much the coolest statement that's been made in my movie.
Okay, so a little bit about the film. Very interesting that it's shot in black and white. It's short conversations, should I say, between you, and friends. Every so often there's sort of keywords that relate to themes of the movie that flash across the screen. I read somewhere that that's a technique that you took from Jean-Luc Godard, the French New Wave filmmaker, who I know that you admire. Why that technique? What does it mean to you? And what other influences have you used in this film?
Well, definitely, I think the text thing was very much Godard as a, an homage of some sort. But from the photography to everything, I look at, filmmakers like Fellini, I look at Truffaut, I look at all these kind of people, that I love as cinema practitioners. But mainly because, I believe in the idea of like contemporary film, especially in South Africa, is getting sterile in a big way because there are a lot of filmmakers and not a lot of film lovers. So I like to think of myself as a director who loves cinema first, you know. So yeah, I mean, there's a broad amount of influences from every single picture basically that I love. It would probably take too long for me to explain.
I feel like you make cinema, you make movies that you would want to see. You know, you don't need to validate it with anything else. If that's the way you like it, then that's what it is. You're a creator, you're an artist.
People involve themselves so much in their own personal career and their own personal validation, and filmmakers are, you know, they take themselves really seriously without actually understand that we're contributing to the landscape of cinema, you know. So, you know, my biggest thing, which, you know, concerns me, is that I don't care if people like my movies. Film has got really sterile in that sense because people just, you know, care too much about what people think, and I think I'm really blessed with not really caring at all. I just make my film, and if it makes sense to me and it feels honest and has some sense of integrity to my own experience, to my own sensibilities, then I put it out as a proposal of contemporary cinema. But I don't really care what journalists think.
So lastly, what next for Sibs Shongwe-La Mer? What are you working on? What's the next step, if there is one?
Well, you know, I've been really fortunate now that I've just signed with LBI in the US, Martin Scorsese and all those representation as my management, and I just signed with Casaroda Ramsey in the UK, Steve McQueen's reps. So my new film has just been announced yesterday, I think, at Durban. I'm working with Fireworks. I'm working with Neil Brandt, and a lot of more movies. I got a novel coming out in a little bit. I have my first Hollywood pictures as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff on the cards, and hopefully it's not terrible.
I doubt it. Thanks for taking some time to chat to us.
Thanks for having me.
You are a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you.
That's it from me, Chanelle Ellaya, here at Durban International Film Festival, running till the 26th of July. Come down and check it out at the Ilangeni Hotel.